G'day viewers, in this episode we are going to shine a light on something quite shocking in my opinion. We are going to uncover a lack of quality assurance so severe that it brings into question the underlying fabric of academic institutions generally speaking. We are going to show you an error so simple and so common that one has the right to ask, what the hell is going on? It is worth noting that obtaining an education can be extremely expensive and students may graduate with significant debts. So, in my opinion, the fact that money changes hands for the provision of services means that academic institutions cannot claim human errors as any legitimate excuse for poor quality assurance practices. In fact, it begs the question, are students entitled to a financial refund when academic professors can be shown to have executed negligent errors? Have a think about it. So then, after all this Chicken Little skies falling melodrama I'm inflating, what exactly am I referring to? What crime is so atrocious that academic professors should be crucified alongside Spartacus on Via Appia Antica? What error is so basic that it warrants not only capital punishment, but horrific torture on the deathward journey? Well, the answer to these questions are simple. That is, the physical dimensions on the left-hand side of an equation needs to equal the physical dimensions on the right-hand side of an equation. In other words, all equations, without exception, must dimensionally balance. If an equation does not dimensionally balance, then whomever crafted the equation, quite frankly, is an imbecile and does not deserve to draw breath on planet Earth. I realise that my criticism may seem harsh or extreme to some people, but I don't believe so. Failing to balance an equation dimensionally is as basic a mistake as not knowing the difference between north and south. How can anybody entrusted with a student's education dare to look at themselves in the mirror when they have made such a fundamental error? Well, to emphasise the extent of this issue, we are going to present 4 instances of the same error we found on the internet. The key lesson I'm trying to present in this episode is Caveat Emptor, that is, buyer beware. But what does this mean? It means that users of information, particularly students in the process of learning, should never take any mathematical statement as gospel just because it was delivered to you by an academic professor. That is, students should check everything for themselves. Beware of the information your academic professors are trying to sell you. Okay, let's take a look at the evidence. On this slide, you see 3 examples of Friedman's equation taken from the internet. The error instance at the top left-hand corner of the slide incorporates Einstein's interpretation of Friedman's equation, which of course includes his infamous cosmological constant. Unfortunately, in this specific example, I lost the URL and have not been able to find it again. Having said that, let me assure you that it originated as a set of lecture notes from an American university. The URLs for the second and third error instances appear clearly. I will make a point of emphasising that the second error instance comes from Wikipedia. Wikipedia is an extremely dangerous and untrustworthy source of information, so extreme care should be taken when utilising Wikipedia in any way, shape or form. However, unfortunately, Wikipedia is often the first result returned by search engines due to the grants Wikipedia receives from propaganda institutions. If you don't believe me, try doing counter-narrative information searches on prominent geopolitical issues and see what Wikipedia has to say about them. Anyway, that's a story for another day. I'm sure you are clever enough to figure out which NATO government controls and influences the political information contained on Wikipedia. Okay, that's enough distraction for the day. Let's get back to the matter at hand. As you can see, in all 3 error instances, the left-hand side of the equation does not dimensionally balance against the right-hand side of the equation. In fact, error instance number 3 has the additional misfortune of missing a negative sign on the right-hand side of the equation. So, error instance number 3 has 2 significant issues, not just one. For the moment, I will take the opportunity to point out and emphasise the obvious by stating that spatial curvature and scale factor are dimensionless numbers, as written on screen. Let's now take a look at the 4th error instance we found on the internet. Error instance number 4 is particularly distressing for me personally. I found it on Hyperphysics, which is a website I had come to trust and use as a regular scientific reference. In fact, I purchased the Hyperphysics CD some years ago. However, once again, we see that the left-hand side of the equation does not dimensionally balance with the right-hand side of the equation. So, the key message to absorb from these identified error instances comes from the old Russian proverb of trust but verify.